Live from our studios at the Miracle Center in Ishpeming, this is ABC 10 News Now. Your 10 minutes of nonstop news begins right now.
I'll never quite be able to understand their pain. Anyone that's had to bury a child, let alone in Miss Roll's situation, 2 children, I can't begin to understand that.
Kenneth Brunke will spend the next several years of his life with the Michigan Department of Corrections. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on ABC 10 News Now. I'm Jerry Taylor. 10 months after police found the bodies of 3 people burnt up in a vehicle in Doyle Township, the second man involved in the incident was sentenced in Schoolcraft County Circuit Court this morning. Even after the court proceedings ended, the defendant, Kenneth Brunke, found himself in even more trouble with the law.
I had nothing to do with the planning of or the taking of anyone's life. I came home from another day of work, only to find myself quickly introduced to a situation I never could have prepared for.
In his address to the court, Kenneth Brunke maintained his innocence when it came to the events that led to the deaths of Jody Hutchinson, Heather Aldrich, and Carrie Nelson last April. Brunke entered a plea agreement back in October, where he pled guilty to obstruction of justice and lying to a police officer during a violent crime investigation. Being that this was Brunke's first time ever in trouble with the law, his attorney, Michael Winnick, asked Judge William Carmody for a lighter sentence.
Mr. Brunke has been in jail for almost a year. I would ask you, within any applicable guideline, after all arguments are made, the applicable cells would each allow for a sentence in the county jail.
Schoolcraft County Prosecutor Tim Noble asked Judge Carmody to depart from the regular sentencing guidelines, the first time he's ever asked a judge to do that.
Generally, the sentencing guidelines are designed to fit the crime. This time they weren't.
In the end, Judge Carmody agreed with the prosecutor.
There was ample opportunity to take steps to right a significant wrong that you were obviously aware of, Mr. Brunke. Right from the time that you jumped into the car, you could have gone in a different direction. There was no gun at your head. You were in the car alone.
After the crimes were committed, Brunke fled to Illinois, where he was later arrested. Brunke was sentenced to 40 to 60 months in prison with credit for time served. After Brunke's sentencing, Prosecutor Noble talked about the triple homicide case as a whole for the first time.
With the death of Ms. Carlson and the lack of cooperation from Mr. Cordell, the most that I can prove in court is what we got today. I believe this was the best we could do given the hand we were dealt and the unfortunate change in events.
Gary Cordell was sentenced to life in prison last November on 3 first-degree murder charges. Marietta Carlson died in jail last June. It was later determined that Carlson's death was due to endocarditis, which is an infection of the inner lining of the heart. Before he was escorted to prison, Brunke was arrested on 3 additional felony charges, 2 counts of delivery or manufacture of cocaine less than 50 grams, and conspiracy to deliver a controlled substance. Brunke is due back in court on those charges February 29th.